Hi guys, so today we are gonna make some homemade fried rice and chicken. So here I have 3 cups of rice, and I'm using the Indian rice called basmati. So I find that that rice is the best rice suited for this dish. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wash this really well. I do recommend washing it like maybe like 6, 7 times to really get the rice very clean. So let's go wash the rice and we'll be back. Okay, so we're back. So right here so far I have a season called all-purpose seasoning. So I have 3 teaspoons of that in here. And then we're gonna throw another 3 teaspoons of complete seasoning. Another, and then over here we have some garlic parsley. And you do not have to add all these season or spices. You don't have to add them all, but I just like to have my fries very flavorful. So I like to add all these tasty seasoning inside, but choice is yours, whatever preference you prefer. And most likely the fried rice seasoning is something we're going to be using a lot throughout this dish, so make sure that you have enough of that. So basically everything is about 3 teaspoons of seasoning that I'm throwing. Now here we have some ginger powder. Now do not throw too much of this because it will make your rice spicy. So here we have about 1 teaspoon of ginger powder. And then we have another brand of fried rice. So we're gonna go ahead and throw another 2 teaspoons. And in here, we'll just throw a little bit of spice powder and average about half a teaspoon. And just for fun, we're gonna throw a touch of dash. Just a little bit. And then we're gonna throw some salt. Now the salt is up to you. You throw as much as you would like. And then we're gonna go ahead and put some Chinese sauce in there. Now the more you put, the more darker your rice will be. So just average, and I'm just gonna average here. As you could see, I think that will be enough. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add a cube in this. So we have lots of spice. No, it's not gonna be too much due to the fact that it's gonna be boiled in water, so it's okay. It will degrade the taste of the rice, so it's okay if you put a little bit extra seasoning inside. So here I put half of a cube. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mix this up very well. You want to mix everything up, get it all in there. So let's go ahead and get this all mixed up well, and then we'll be back to throw our final ingredient, and then we'll be on the way. Okay guys, so for our final ingredient, here is something I have called green seasoning. Now I did make this myself. What this consists of is garlic, thyme, and cilantro. So here we're gonna be putting about 4 teaspoons because this does give a lot of flavors to our rice. Okay, we'll just put one more. We put 5 teaspoons. So this is just gonna bring lots of flavor to our rice. So this is something that we do wanna have inside our rice. I will do another video showing how I make my green seasoning, so you can look forward to that. And you go ahead and mix everything up well. Alrighty guys, so to cook our fried rice, here we'll be using the Instapot. Now if you don't have an Instapot, it's okay, you could use a regular pressure pot. So let's go ahead and... Alrighty guys, so here I turned my Instapot on, and I set it on pressure cook, and it's on 25 minutes. So it's on, so it's gonna start to heat up now, and I'm gonna get my oil so I can throw it inside. Alrighty, so here my Instapot is very hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw about 3 teaspoons of oil. So we're gonna go ahead and let that get a little bit hot just for a second. Alrighty, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw in our rice now. So you hear that sizzle? That's the sizzle we're looking to hear. Go ahead and turn it all up. Let the oil mix in to the rice. Get whatever little rice is in the corner here. Okay, and we're gonna let that just cook just for a little bit, and then we'll add our water. So far, you see our time has been going down. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it back up to 25 because we want to make sure that it's pressured enough. You want to make sure that you keep turning up your rice because you want it to just to fry just a little bit. Okay, so I let my rice fry for about 2 minutes, and now I'm gonna pour in the water. And I'll tell you how I measure the water. So here you see I poured in. I just averaged the water that I poured in, and I'm just gonna clean up the pot on the inside just to get these little extra rice. Good. So here you can't see the rice, but you see it's right there. So what I'll do, you pour for it just to be a little bit extra over. So if you had to average, just it's over half of my finger. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit more. Okay, so it's almost to my full finger, and I think that should be more than enough. So what I like to do, guys, I like to taste the water. Now it's very important to taste the water because that predicts, that's going to tell you how your rice is going to taste. So you want to taste it to see if you have enough salt, if you think it needs any other seasoning, maybe a little bit more cube, maybe a little bit more all-purpose flour. So this part is very important for your rice. So go ahead and taste it and then see how it tastes. Okay, so I went ahead and I taste the liquid, and it tastes just right. So this here is good. It's not too salty. It's have everything inside, because remember I did pour a little bit extra of everything when I was seasoning my rice because of this reason. But I still always double check just to make sure. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close our Instapot, and then we're gonna go ahead and let our Instant Pot cook our rice. So our time is 19 minutes. I just closed my Instapot, and we have 19 minutes on the clock. So let's go ahead and leave this to cook. Okay guys, so it's at 9 minutes right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and raise it for up to 15 more minutes, so it could we can make sure that it cooks very good. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it like that. Alrighty guys, so the food is done. The rice is completely finished, and now I'm just turning it up. It all looks well done, well cooked. Look at that. Now it looks a little mushy now, but that's because the rice needs to dry and cool off, so that way it could become loose, so it could be our fried rice. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna dish this out so that it could cool off, and then we're gonna begin with our chicken. Alrighty guys, so here I put my rice in a baking pan only because the rice gets a little bit more air to, you know, breathe, and it can cool off faster, so that way it can become very loose. So we're gonna go ahead and set that aside so we can begin our chicken. Alrighty guys, here we have our chicken. Now this is half of a chicken. I mostly use the breast part of the chicken. So basically everything that we have thrown in our fried rice, we're gonna be throwing it in the chicken. So let's get started. Alrighty guys, so here we have all the seasoning thrown in here. So we basically re-put everything except the fried rice seasoning. So what I did, I put 3 teaspoons of all-purpose seasoning, 2 teaspoons of the garlic parsley. I put 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of the spice powder, 3 teaspoons of the complete seasoning, and I put 4 teaspoons of the blend seasoning. Now, just keep it in mind, all these seasoning will be in the bio so that you could also have it for reference. And of course, I average with the Chinese sauce. I just made sure I put a little bit, not too much. And then of course I added my salt to taste. So that's on your preference, and of course a little bit of dash. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mix all this up, and we're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes. Alrighty guys, so I mixed everything up, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes to marinate just a little bit, and then we're gonna start cooking it. Alrighty guys, so I went ahead and I turned up my rice, and it's all actually almost dry. It's getting there, it's almost cooled off. So what I did, I went ahead and I cut up some cilantro very small, and I put it on the rice. Now when you mix the cilantro into this rice, it has such a beautiful flavor. It just gives it a burst of fireworks. You guys are gonna love it. I really do hope you guys eat cilantro. I know some people don't like certain seasoning and certain spices, so I do hope that you're willing to try this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna mix it all up into our rice. So I went ahead and I mixed it all up, and as you could see, it started to loosen. And as it keeps on drying and it gets cooled off, it will get more loose. Now I'm not putting any vegetables inside. Normally I do put you know, sweet peppers and all that, you know, nice stuff in the fried rice, but my kids, they don't want to eat it, so I decided to do it without. So for most of you who have kids who are so picky with food and they don't want to eat sweet peppers, broccoli, corn, all that stuff, this might probably be such a good recipe because it's plain. So that way they would be able to eat the rice. So now what we're doing, we're waiting for our chicken to finish marinating, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start cooking our chicken. So for those of you who do want to add vegetables and stuff inside, go ahead and do it. You can just cut it up and just stir fry it in a little bit oil real quick, and then you can then throw it on top of this and mix it all up, and then you can still continue cooking your chicken like normal, and then you can add your chicken inside when you're finished. So as you could see here, the rice start to loosen, and again, I'm just making this to please my kids since they don't like no vegetables inside. Alright guys, so here we're ready to go start our chicken. It's been marinating for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it on medium heat. So I'm gonna let the pan hot up a bit, and then I'll throw my oil, and then we'll start our chicken. Alrighty guys, so I put about 4 tablespoons of oil in the pot, and I'm waiting for it to just get a little bit hot, and then we're gonna throw our chicken in. Alrighty, so we're ready to put in our chicken. Wow. Wow, you hear that sound of that sizzle? And you just turn everything up. everything up, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna cover it and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Turn it up, and then we will lower the heat. Okay, so this is all nice and turned up, and it's cooking just great. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover this, and we'll let it simmer for about 5 minutes. As this is simmering, guys, don't forget to turn up your rice a little bit. Alrighty guys, so I just went and turned up my rice, and look at that. It is completely just loose. And this was what we were looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and continue to let it sit until our chicken is ready. Alrighty guys, so it's been simmering for about 4 minutes. So I decided to come back and check on it, and this is what we're looking at so far. So we're gonna go ahead and continue to let it simmer a little bit before we raise the heat, because we do not need all this water. So we're gonna go ahead and let all that water just simmer into the chicken and let the flavors continue to build. So we're gonna leave this and let it continue to simmer for another 10 minutes. Alright guys, so our chicken has been simmering on low heat for about 5 minutes. So now we're gonna be kicking up the heat on almost high. So we're gonna just let this water and the oil just dry out, and then when it's a little bit down, we'll go ahead and throw it in our rice. So I raised the heat, as you can see, so that we can get all the water, well, most of the water out the chicken. Now guys, please feel free to taste your chicken just to make sure that you have enough of everything. Maybe if you need a little bit more salt, maybe you want to add a little bit more all-purpose seasoning. Feel free to go ahead and taste this, you know, when it's now cooking, so that you can see if you have to add any more or add any extra, because once it goes in your rice, that's it. So just to let you guys know, if you want to also do that, just to make sure that your seasoning is just right. Now guys, keep it in mind, when you turn up the heat, you got to keep on turning it so it does not burn, because if it's thick, it will burn. So this is what we're looking for. As you could see, there's no water or anything, so this is ready to be poured into our rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the stove off and pour this in our rice. If you would like to see more of my recipe, please like and subscribe, and I'll be more than happy to post more contents for you. And if you would like any recommendation and you want to recommend anything that you would like to see me make, please do comment below and I will make it for you.